So, if you are the primary support person for an aging adult, December can feel, well, it can feel like a contradiction.
It really can.
Everyone tells you it's the season of maximum joy, but often for the person we love, it becomes the season of maximum overwhelm.
Mm.
So today we are diving deep into why that common holiday chaos triggers anxiety, irritability, and withdrawal, and crucially, what behavioral science tells us to do about it.
It's such a counterintuitive finding, isn't it?
Yeah.
The sources we've compiled really challenge this assumption that more love, more gifts, and more people, well, that it equals more happiness for everyone.
Let's use that perfect example the research provides. It's this man, Mr. Alvarez.
Yeah.
His life is anchored by these, predictable
Okay.
cues. 7 a.m., he has his tea, the radio show is on, he's in his quiet seat by the window, but then the family arrives, and that whole routine is it's destroyed.
The kitchen is full, there's guest chatter instead of the radio.
And his favorite chair is blocked by a huge stack of gifts. He looks stressed, and everyone's going around asking him, "Aren't you excited?"
And what's happening right there, that's the core insight of this entire deep dive. Routines aren't just things we prefer, they are stabilizers, they're anchors and orientation tools.
Ah, so when the world starts changing quickly.
Those routines are what maintain confidence and a sense of internal control. So shaking those anchors loose, it causes genuine distress.
Okay, so our mission is clear. We need to understand the cognitive cost of all this sudden change and give you actionable science-backed strategies to bring that essential predictability back to the season.
To get connection over chaos.
Exactly. Connection over chaos.
So let's start by looking at what routines actually do for the aging brain. Why is predictability so protective?
When we talk about behavior, routines can feel sort of passive, but they're incredibly active tools, aren't they?
Oh, they are. From a behavioral perspective, a routine fundamentally reduces the mental noise around decisions.
Mhm.
It narrows the number of steps the brain has to track.
It's like a mental shortcut.
It is a shortcut. And if you remove the routine, you remove the automatic roadmap for that part of the day.
Yeah.
You're forcing the brain to restart and reprocess information it thought it already had handled.
And for an aging adult, maybe someone dealing with slowed processing speed or sensory sensitivities or even memory changes, that predictability is not a luxury.
No, it's protective armor.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now, look at the holiday scenario. It's not one disruption. It's a simultaneous shift of multiple variables.
Everything changes at once.
Times change, sounds are louder, rooms are full, meals are different, schedules just vanish. Every single one of those shifts adds cognitive load. It's like demanding an older computer run 10 complex programs at the same time.
That concept of cognitive load is so key to reframing holiday distress because we often look at the behavioral outcome, the withdrawal, the sudden fatigue, the irritability, repeating questions.
And we mistake it for a decline in personality or ability.
Yeah.
And that's the most crucial correction we can offer you. This behavioral change happens not because the person doesn't enjoy the holiday, but because their internal navigation system is overwhelmed by input. They aren't trying to be difficult.
They're shutting down.
They're shutting down to conserve energy.
So if we see them suddenly refusing to participate or, acting resistant, what are they actually signaling to us?
They're signaling distress and an urgent need for stability. We need to remember that behavior doesn't just break, it adapts. And when the environment becomes chaotic, the common adaptation is to do less, to pull away and seek safety in quiet, familiar corners.
So they're adapting to the overload?
Yes, that resistance you observe, that seeming stubbornness, is almost always a sign that their cognitive map is just stretched too thin. Predictability reduces that stretch.
That makes perfect sense. So if we understand that resistance is a cry for predictability, then the solution isn't demanding more participation. It's building a safer environment. Okay, let's look at the actionable strategies. How do we introduce stability even when the house is full of guests?
We have to start with the fundamental anchor, the morning. If the start of the day is secure, it creates confidence for everything that comes after.
What's the single most critical step there?
Protect the core morning routine. That's it. Tea at the same time, the radio on at the same volume, the favorite chair available. If you can just maintain that earliest part of the day, you prevent a cascade of meltdowns and confusion later on.
Okay, so once that morning is anchored, we need to deal with the chaos of, unexpected events. I know we often overwhelm people with too much information about the future.
That's why the next strategy is so crucial. Use gentle previews. Reduce the unknown by only giving a heads up about the immediate next step. Don't list the whole day.
So instead of saying, okay, today we have breakfast, then Aunt Jane comes, then we open gifts, then church,
Right, which is overwhelming.
you just say, after breakfast, your granddaughter will stop by for about 20 minutes. And that's it.
Precisely. That provides clarity without inducing the overload. And then remember to protect daily anchors. These are the small, regular tasks that maintain competence and dignity.
Like feeding the cat.
Feeding the cat, choosing their own sweater, checking the mail. Preserving these things preserves their confidence.
Okay, and when it comes to the large blocks of time, like Christmas Day itself, how do we manage the sheer volume of activities?
You need to implement the strategy of offering one activity at a time. You can't ask them to track 5 different events. Just focus on the immediate next step.
First, we'll enjoy brunch.
First, we'll enjoy brunch. After that, we can rest. One achievable step is so much better than a list that causes an immediate shutdown.
That principle of rest brings us to what might be the most important spatial solution, creating a quiet landing space.
Absolutely vital. Designate an area, a bedroom, a corner of the living room that is low light, low noise, and this is key, low expectation.
What do you mean by low expectation?
No one is going to come in and demand a big conversation. It's just a place to recharge. What we find in the research is that holiday participation actually increases when the nervous system gets guaranteed breaks.
You're protecting their ability to show up later.
That's right. And finally, when the season is over, how do we signal stability again?
Get back to normal.
Return to routine immediately. Make January the explicit reset month. Reintroduce the familiar rhythms, regular meal times, quiet activities to help the aging adult feel competent and stable again.
Okay, let's move from the planning phase into the reality of the holiday itself. We need to address some of the common flashpoints that families face. Let's start with that classic sign of overload, the repetitive question. If they keep asking what's happening next or who is coming, it can be incredibly frustrating. What is the science telling us they're actually asking?
They're asking for predictability. They're saying, I'm lost in the sequence. Our instinct is to get irritated, but the best response is just simple. Give a 2-step plan only.
So just, right now we are resting. Next is dinner.
Next is dinner. Don't elaborate. You can also use like a visual checklist on the fridge so they can refer to the sequence themselves without asking you. You are solving the disorientation, not just answering the question.
Another stressful moment is the gift exchange. We assume it's fun, but why does it often cause irritation and withdrawal?
It's a perfect storm of cognitive demands. Gift exchanges are multi-step, they're loud, they're fast, and they require high social engagement.
Turn-taking, performance anxiety.
And they're pressured to respond quickly and appropriately. It's pure stress. The solutions here are simple. Shorten the sequence, slow the pace, or just allow them to open gifts in a quieter space, bringing their gifts out to the group later.
For those who tire quickly, what's the strategy for micro-participation? How do we prevent total isolation without forcing them into a 3-hour dinner they can't handle?
Offer micro breaks and micro engagement. Invite them for just 5 minutes. Just choose a song for the playlist. Or, can you help me fold these 2 napkins? Followed by a guaranteed break. Small doses of success protect their energy and maintain connection.
What about when we see them zoning out or becoming withdrawn during a long family meal? What's happening there?
That is almost always a sign of overstimulation. The table talk is too fast, the room's too loud. The remedy isn't to quiz them, are you listening? It's to shorten the meal duration, offer brief mobility breaks, or strategically seat them next to someone who provides calm, simple, one-on-one conversation that keeps the demand low.
Okay, this last one is vital for managing the family dynamic. How do we respond to relatives who say, they seem fine to me, you're just making this too complicated?
Yes. You have to calmly explain the invisible scaffolding you've built.
The invisible work.
Yes. Tell them directly. They look relaxed because we are actively keeping the environment light and predictable. If we change too much too fast, if we suddenly ask them to host or stay up late, it becomes overwhelming immediately. Family members need help seeing that stability requires effort.
So we're not sacrificing traditions, we're just making them accessible.
Precisely. You don't have to choose between traditions and chaos. You can shrink traditions. Keep the essence, the connection, but reduce the number of steps, simplify the demands, and build in flexibility. Traditions survive when they adapt to the current reality.
Okay, let's bring all this together. The core takeaway from this deep dive really is that aging is an adaptation story. Every behavior is telling us a story, either about overwhelm or about confidence.
And if you're feeling guilt about simplifying or shrinking the holiday, remember this. You are not downgrading the holiday experience. You are making it accessible.
That's a great way to put it.
An accessible holiday is what allows true, meaningful connection to happen, free from the exhaustion and the chaos.
You are building the scaffolding so that the person you love can confidently participate.
That's exactly right. Every regained routine, every small success, and every moment of predictability helps restore dignity and independence. The powerful behavioral insight here is that hope, just like behavior, is learned.
So the final thought for you to take away is,
What small, single step of predictability will you preserve this season? Start there.